Hello everyone, welcome back to another hammer tutorial. So this one's going to be focused on indicators. It's not just a hammer tutorial too, it's more of a rules thing. Indicator rules and portal rules in general. So the first indicator is the door state indicator. The door state indicator I see misused quite a bit. It's supposed to be used with test chamber doors only. The only minor exception to this is the incinerator seen in Escapo 2. You shouldn't take that really into account because, for one, it's not in a test chamber, and it's also just out of every time the door state indicator is used, we don't, let the exception be the rule, if that makes sense. For the second is a lab door connected to a lab door inside of an energy ball catcher box. So the indicator must be on the leftmost side, but if you have two doors in a box, then you need to move the indicator to the center. And for objects in general that are not doors, you must have the indicator end with a corner. And also, if we're talking about rules, energy ball catchers only activate lift platforms and unstationary scaffolds. There are no exceptions to this. And buttons only activate doors. And here is something else, I guess. It's two indicators. If you have two indicators, as seen in, I think, test chamber 5, you need to rise it up a bit, put it to the left a bit. Also, make sure the indicator comes from the right side and not from the bottom. There is a minor exception to this rule, and that exception is if the door is above, which you can see in, I think it's test chamber 13. Now, let's learn how to create these indicators. In order to create indicators, you need to start off by selecting the indicator texture. Well, actually, it depends on which or where the indicator is starting from. So if your indicator is starting from the floor, select the floor light strip indicator. And then if it starts from the wall or the ceiling, use the wall light strip indicator. Well, since the button comes from the floor, I'm gonna choose the floor texture. Anyways, make sure you have texture lock enabled and place it down so it's not really facing the right direction. So what I do is you open the transformation window. You can do that by holding Control M, and if it's on the floor or ceiling, you use the Z axis, and depending on where it is on the wall, use the Y or X axis. So if it's on a button, make sure to center it, and then put it down by half. Scale it down by half. Turn off texture lock if you want to increase the size of the indicator. And now we're going to put a corner. And turn on texture lock again. And then we got our corner. And then scale it down by half. And then what you can do is copy and paste it to where you need. Now, the indicator needs to get on the wall. So we're going to select the wall texture, the wall indicator texture. Scale it down by half. And if your indicator is a door, what you need to do is make the wall indicator 64 units high. Now, make sure the no draw texture is selected. What we're going to do is create a 32 by 32 brush and four units thick. Make sure it's centered with the indicator. Texture the front face with door state, and then fit it if you need to. And click phase, because if it's set to world and not phase, the check mark will be backwards. Create a prop static and search for sign frame, and then you should find this model. Rotate it if you need to. Center it with the brush. And now we got our indicators, but now it needs to turn orange whenever we step on the button. So what we're going to do is make the indicator a func brush, and then give it a name. It's like floor button 1 indicators. Do the same with the indicator strips. Search for text for an ENV texture toggle, and set the target brushes to floor button 1 indicators and give it a name. Now go to the entity that will activate the indicators. Click outputs, and since mine is a button, I'm going to be doing on open, set texture index 1. So set texture index is 1 will make it orange, but if it's set to 0, it'll turn blue. So now the indicator should work. Let's see what it looks like in game. Alright, so here's our indicator. If we step on the button and step off, it works flawlessly. So, please let me know if this helps you. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments, and thank you for watching.